Today's shir is being sponsored L'Refuas, Reza Gittel Bas Esther, L'Refuas Shleimo, and Baruch Ben Meital for L'Refuas Shleimo, and Cheskel Ben Leah L'Refuas Shleimo. 3 L'Refuas Shleimos. Today's email is from Rabbi Nachman Seltzer. In continuation to an email that was sent in yesterday, Mazel Tov to the Rebbitzin who was inspired through the shir to begin teaching Nach to so many people. May you continue to spread Torah within Klal Yisrael, and may you watch your shir grow and reach so many people. May you continue to spread Torah within Klal Yisrael, and may you watch your shir grow and reach many more people. Amen. I just want to point out to all the people listening to the shir that just as she grew inspired from what is happening here and used it to come up with her own way of being mechazik Klal Yisrael, so too every person in the shir can and should do the same to find their own way to spread Torah in any and every way possible. Amen. And yes, Rebelli, you'll be rewarded for all the good that comes out of the shir, for the offshoots and the stories and all the lives that are being changed on a daily basis throughout the world. As I said yesterday, this is a classic example of peiros growing from seeds that you planted. Nachman Seltzer, Yishkoyach. Hi, Rabbi Stefansky. This is from Michael Cohen, a different Michael Cohen, not the guy that came to visit us, not the famous lawyer Michael Cohen, maybe a different one. This guy's from Baltimore. I just wanted to say thank you for packing so much punch into the 8-minute Daf Chazar. Last cycle was the first time I finished Shas, so this time around I wanted to add something to my learning, and your 8-minute Daf is perfect. I really feel it solidifies the Daf that I learned in the morning with Rabbi Shmuel Silber, who's amazing as well. Keep up the wonderful work, and you still owe us Daf 35, 36, and 37. He doesn't know yet about 87. Hatzlacha Meir Cohen, JMJ Properties, Baltimore.
Shout out last night on what's it called, Torah Anytime.
I got a shout out?
Yeah, I was interviewed on Torah Anytime.
Yeah.
They have the whole thing going on right now.
Right, the whole.
So Ari,
Rabbi Isai, he's saying that Torah Anytime is having a big fundraiser right now. So since everybody should try to give whoever they can, yeah?
the MCs are Ari B'Shushan and Yossi B'Shushan.
Right, the 2 brothers that started Torah Anytime. I thought they did. They came here. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
The speakers.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so they were
Yeah.
MCs.
My bad. Yeah.
And as when I got on to speak, and so then right away, Ari is like, Rabbi Ari's like, oh, the shir, yes, a female. Oh, he starts right away. He starts about the shir. So you got
Schmack.
this major, matzah going on.
We suffer also from the uploading. People complain that it's not uploaded.
No shaykhs. Don't worry about it. All right. Okay, fine. Let's start. We have a lot more to read for a different day. Send those emails in, Givaldiki ches. Fine. We are holding today's Daf Kuf Tes. And we're holding on the bottom Daf Kuf Ches Omid Beis. And by the way, there was a official from Official Catering had a great idea, and I added to the idea. He says he put in a bid to sponsor all of Amud Beis for the next month. $1,000 bid. I said, if you sponsor Amud Beis, you get to call it wherever you want. So you can call, we're going to the folio, we're going to the page, returning the daf, you pay for it, you get to call it out. So we'll see. If by tomorrow there's no greater bidder than that, then Official Catering wins the bid for all Amud Beises for the next 30 days.
Does he have to call it out from the Zoom, or do you call it out?
He could, but half the time he's half asleep there. No, where is he? He's like, I don't know, it looks like he's in his bed. No, I'm just kidding. Official, I'm kidding. All right. Zokta Gemara. Hu Aya Omer. 3 lines from the bottom. Hu Aya Omer. We're talking about Muna here. Rabbi Muna. He used to say, Yad la'ayin tikotzitz. Rabbi said, this is an easier sugya today, an easier Gemara, light. We're talking about Netilas Yadayim and the Shachris, Negovasser. You don't wash your hands, you put your hand in your eye, it's dangerous. Tikotzitz, it deserves to be chopped off. Yad lachoitem tikotzitz. You put it in your nose, start picking your nose, tikotzitz, cut it off. Yad lepeh, tikotzitz, to your mouth. Yad la'oizen, tikotzitz, to your nose, to your ear. Yad lachasuda, if you had bloodletting, you have a little wound, you touch it, tikatzitz. Yad la'ama, tikatzitz. Bris, tikatzitz. So Rashi and Amud Aleph says that over here it's already not so much. It could be talking about, but we're talking about more of Shechva Zera Levatala, like in the Gemara Nida. Yad lepi tabas tikatzitz. Person relieves himself, gdoilim, do not touch. Also, it could be a problem of this tumah, but it could be also cleanliness. Stop having filth on your hand is a big problem, as we know today. Derech Agav, talking about corona, talking about all these things. Yad lepeh, yad la'ayin. Time of the Gemara already. This is a ruchnisdika thing, but you see that there is, we could understand it now on a more of a scientific level even. We don't see the virus, it's so small, just like we don't see the tumah. Yad lagigis tikatzitz. Touching a barrel of beer, tikatzitz. Other people, and this is a major halacha. It's not just that you're ruining your own beer, but other people are going to drink that tumah. It's going to harm other people. Mishabura brings as well that you shouldn't be touching foods that are touched by people without negavas are a problem. No, inside. Yad misamo. So the Gemara explains, the hand could make you blind if you touch your eye. Yad machareshes. It can make you deaf. Yad malapalipus. Causes bad breath if you touch your mouth and your nose. Bas chayrin hizu. This tumah has freedom to be mazik. Umakpedes, and she's very makpid. Ad sheyirchoitz yodov gimel palmim. She needs you to wash your hands 3 times. I saw in the Ben Yehoyada, he brings, al pi Kabbalah, every time you wash your hand, the tumah goes down to one of the joints. So you have 3 joints. So the first time you wash your hand, goes down here. Then it goes down here, then goes down here, or maybe no, from here to here, from here to here, and then just comes off your finger each time. The Vilna Gaon says that, or Aviman, the Gra says that it doesn't help that you wash your hands 3 times. You wash your hand 3 times, so you get rid of that tumah on your hand. But the water became tameh. As it was removing that tumah, it became tameh. Therefore, the Vilna Gaon says you have to wash a 4th time to remove the dirty water. Forget about the tumah. Who? He probably brings the guy, as he usually does. Umakpedes at sheyirchotz yodav gimel palmim. The Mishabura brings the famous machlokes, the Rosh and the Rashba, if the washing negavasser is because of tumah or because of cleanliness. The Yidai Maskoni is saying over here it seems like we're dealing with the tumah. Omer Rabbi Yochanan, puch maver bas melach. You put some mascara on the eye, it could take away the damage caused by this ruach. Upoisik is hadima, and it stops tearing of the eye. Umar b'seir b'afapayim, and it increases the eyelashes. Tanya mehachi. Rabbi Yosi omer puch maver bas melach. So it's not that it prevents; it actually undoes damage that it's already caused. Upoisik is hadima umar b'seir b'afapayim. V'omer maruk v'omer Shmuel. Olin. So olin typically means leaves. Rashi says it means some sort of grass that the name is olin. Ein bohe mishum refuah. Rashi holds that we're talking about eating these grasses. So eating these grasses, there's no refuah. Meaning, if there's no refuah, then you're permitted to eat it on Shabbos. Because as soon as it's a refuah, it really works as medicine, then it's usr. Then it's a gzeira of shchikas hamamanim, you might come to grind on Shabbos. Omer Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef was blind, and he says, Kuzbarto, ein ba mishum refuah. Oh no, the first one is already out of order. Kuzbarto, if you want to know what kuzbarto is in English, coriander, it's like it's how? Coriander. That's right, coriander, here, coriander. It's similar to cilantro. Coriander. It's much easier. Coriander. This even a Panovich could say. I got very kuzbara, yeah, kuzbara. I got a whole English lesson yesterday. Might have to read it when you say an and when you say a and kids. All right. So Kuzbarta ein ba mishum refuah, it doesn't heal your eyes. He's blind. He's telling you it doesn't heal. Omer Rav Sheshes kishus ein ba mishum refuah. So once again, if you eat these on Shabbos, these hops, it's not a problem because there's no refuah in it. It's a joke. Omer Rav Yosef kuzbarta afilu dikashali. So as I said before, not only is it not refuah, but it's not good for me. By the way, both Rav Yosef and Rav Sheshes were blind because they wanted to be blind. They asked to be blind. They wanted, for the Kedusha, the Rebbe was nifter, and they took upon themselves not to see anything and to be blind. Omer Rav Sheshes, Gargira, Afilu Lididi, Mali. This does work. So this Gargira, Raset. No, I'm kidding. Rocket plant. It's Gargira. It looks like this. It's cool. It looks like almost like an oak tree kind of plant. Maple leaf, yeah. Something like that. Anyways, Gargira. You should know that all those mistakes, the frankincense, all that is just a show. Shtusim. Gargira. Afilu lididi mali. Even for me, this works. Omar Shmuel. Rabbi say, I might as well just pull out the Marsha right now. We discussed this Marsha, but some people didn't believe me and they said, what's the source? And I sent it out then to the Daf Yomi group, a different in Bet Shemesh. Here it is. Gitin Daf Samach Ches Amud Beis. And the Marsha says, maybe you could put it out on the screen. It's a beautiful Marsha. And I'm quoting, we had it before, but it's a beautiful, beautiful Marsha. He says that we know that the Sefer Refuos, and Sefer Refuos was Nignaz. It had all the healing. Yet, because Torah was forgotten, and the reason why they buried it was that people shouldn't be soymech on it, they should daven HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so they buried it. However, Ravina and Rav Ashi, when they wrote the Gemara, they inserted the refuahs all over the place. You have to know where to find them. And then he writes all the way at the end, the Talmud, Shas, Daf Yomi, has all the chachmas. For every disease, timsa by refuah shlema. You're going to find the proper refuah va'amitis limevinim l'shoinam. But you have to understand what they really mean. And the jokester shouldn't make fun of chacham and say they didn't understand, they didn't know. You have to understand. Now, the Rebbe Kiva Eger does bring, and I mentioned it back then when we were learning refuahs, the maril that says that today it's usher to try it out. First of all, we don't know the amounts, we don't understand the type. Yes, we have pretty pictures, but we don't really know what it means exactly and what color and what variety. So therefore, it's usher to do it. If you do it, they put you in chayrim. Why? Because you might try, you'll say it doesn't work. Oh, it doesn't work. Like yesterday, I tried the salt thing. It doesn't work. And then Avi Mandelbaum told me, Shoyte Shabbailam, the salinity. He didn't say those words, but he's like, I'm a chemist, and of course it doesn't work. It can only hold 38 grams, whatever, salinity. Saturated solution. And then Shmuel Eliyahu sent me a video of how you do it. Guy like me, it says in the Gemara, 2/3 salt, 1/3 water. You go like this. Doesn't work, yeah. Zog the Gemara. So that being said, we're going to be learning a ton of different refuahs. Whether we understand them or not, it's not important. So these hops that we saw before, sharu, you're allowed to eat kshos, you're allowed to eat hops on Shabbos. They don't do anything. Lebar mitaroiza. Besides this hop called mitaroiza, which I guess Heineken hops that you make beer. Heineken is made out of mitaroiza. What? Mataroiza, they don't know. Right. Omer Rav Chizda, Sharika Tavia Shari. Basting the roast. Taking like a little batter of oil, whatever, and basting it, says Rashi, we're talking about, obviously it's not cooking it, it's warm but not hot. That's okay. As the Gemara is going to explain, because you're not accomplishing anything. You're putting something on it, great. Beating up an egg is completely asr. Why? Because it looks as if you're about to cook something. You're going like this, you're scrambling eggs on Shabbos, asr. The Visu, the Zeiri, Avdelei, the wife of Zeiri made Lechia bar Ashi, she made him this thing, Question, why in the world is Zeiri's wife making food for Chia bar Ashi? Says the Rav Nissim Gaon on Omid Beis that she happened to be married to him. The reason why she's called the wife of Zeiri is because she was married to Zeiri. She's known as the wife of Zeiri. But after Zeiri, the Rebbe died, so the Talmud, Chia bar Ashi, married her, and she's making him food. V'lo yochal. He says, no, I'm not going to eat this. You basted it on Shabbos. I'm not touching it. A big shal, the first fight. Omer lei, l'rabbo chavdi lei ba'ochal. Your Rebbe, I made him this exact food and he was okay with it. V'at lo yochalt. My first husband was much better than you. He used to eat my food, and what about you? Says the Gemara, Zeir tamei, do Omar Zeiri noisan, Adam yain solomayim solum toich hamishamerez b'Shabbos v'eni choishesh. Zeiri holds that you're allowed to put wine into a strainer if it's pure wine and it doesn't accomplish anything. You put it right through the strainer, whatever comes in goes out, perfect. No isser. Memela alma kivin the mishat tzeyach lav midi kovet, v'eni choishesh. There's no concern on Shabbos. Why? Since I could drink it, kivin the mishtatei hachi lav midi kovet. He didn't accomplish anything. Without the basting, you could eat this chicken just fine. Or whatever it was. Lav midi kovet. So just putting a little basting on it, you didn't accomplish anything. Memela, there's no waste of Shabbos, I'm eating it. But the Talmud, Chir Barashi, was makbid. By the way, there's another sugya somewhere else in Shabbos that also brings Chir Barashi had food made by Devisu Deziri, which just explains a little bit more the Remedies. I think it's a wild Remedies guy, and I don't know that everybody holds like that because it doesn't seem like Rashi that that's the pshat. I don't know if that's the Pasha pshat. Var marukva, mishanakva yodi ragloi. You have a good gezunta bang on your hand or your foot. Not so much this part of the hand, as the Gemara is going to talk about later, but just a nice bang on your hand. You can reduce the swelling with wine. You don't have to worry about it. Apparently, it doesn't really work well. But what about something much stronger like vinegar? You cannot use vinegar. Very interesting halacha. It depends on the city and the type of person. A spoiled person, literally that his whole entire body, oh my gosh, Rabbi said turn around, you got to see this thing. Let me show the zoomers what's going on here. They can't see. I don't know. Could you see what's going on over there? A nice little countdown. I'm not looking over there. Missing out. 27, 26:59, countdown. It has to be in red though. It's not, it's gewaldig. What?
Don't worry, I'm a basis is short out.
Like the rest of Shas, the base is easy. Somebody wants to say, you want to say shir? What? No, okay. Zog the Gemara, today's not the right day to say shir if you want to say shir. It has a lot of hard words. Kivin the mefanke, these spoiled people, afilu chamr nami masilu. It literally will work physically. If you're a spoiled person, you put a little wine on your boo-boo, and the swelling is reduced by this wine, and memela, also to use on Shabbos. Ravina ikla lebei Rav Ashi. Ravina came to Rav Ashi's house. Chazi the drichale chamora agaba de kare. He sees he's soaking his foot in wine. V'yosef ekotzamas lebechal. Sorry, chamora is a donkey here. Chamora agaba de kare. The donkey stepped on his foot. V'yosef ekotzamas lebechal. So he soaked it in vinegar to reduce the swelling. Omar le l'savelo mar lahod Omar of Hillel chalaloi. Baruch Hashem. Wow, that was a good one. I mamish, if Menachem would have said something, it would have been all over. I go home. Chamara, it's a donkey. He gave me that extra second. I do that to you, by the way. Krista Tyra, if you make a mistake, I don't correct right away. I give you that second to correct. If you go weiter, then I do. No, you're not asking? When was the last time I corrected you? It doesn't matter. That's the best. Those are the best. When he has to go back 3 psukim, such geschmack in the kama. Says the Gemara, and he's reducing the swelling with vinegar. Whoa! Everybody says you can't use vinegar. You're talking about the top part of the hand, the top part of the foot, shani. As the Gemara is going to say soon, it's mamash sakonis nefashis. He saw him soaking it in wine. All the people mechayze, they're spoiled. So it also heals. So here the Gemara says it's not just the city, it's the individual by himself, each person individually. I know you to be a mefunik. So Wine helps you. If wine helps you, it's also for you to use it on Shabbos. Amalei gavayad v'gava regel shani. It's different. Omar Rav Adar Masna. Omar Rav gavayad v'gava regel harehen kimako shel cholol. It's like an inner, like an internal wound. Thank you. Umechal aleisa Shabbos, and therefore. Lamaisa, when you guys weren't around Zoom in my house, I was able to, the worst, unless I was speaking, I don't know, some Hebrew over there. All of a sudden now, you guys are giving me, you're a crutch. That's the problem. Let me just, what's the word? Taner Rabbanan, roichtim b'mei grar. So let me just give you a quick hagdama of the Maskonas HaGemara, so we know what we're going for here. Basically, the Gemara is going to tell us that there's two conditions in order for bathing on Shabbos to be usher. Condition number one, it has to be disgusting water. Why? Because people understand that the only reason why a normal guy jumps into a disgusting place is because he wants to do it for refuah. Why else would somebody jump into disgusting water? Condition number one. Condition number two is that you have to sit around there. You have to soak. If you jump in and jump out, then it's obvious that you're not doing it for refuah. That's not how you do refuah. Refuah is you sit and you soak it into your body. Jumping in, jumping out, you're probably doing it because you're hot, whatever. So you need these two conditions. Now that we know these two conditions, we have a little bit of a sugi here, 10, 15 lines. Torah Rabbana. Who goes to mikvah on Shabbos? Discussing mikvah. Right? So you got to be careful. No. According to the Gra, even Litvaks are the Graniks could go to the mikvah on Shabbos as long as you don't, dry yourself off properly, etc. Tanur Rabbanan, roichatzim b'mei grar. You're allowed to bathe yourself in the waters of grar. They're slightly salty, but since people bathe in them all day long, so it's not muchach. There's no raya that what you're doing is for refuah. B'mei chamason, b'mei asya, or b'mei tver. The b'mei tver is different. It's already hot springs. You're allowed to do it. Avaloi bayam hagadol, but not in the great ocean, whatever that means. Either the Mediterranean or just the general, the large bodies of water. We'll see from the Gemara, it's not so. V'loi b'mei mishra. B'mei mishra is already disgusting. The Gemara always brings it as where you soak the flax in it, so the water turns really smelly and not good. So why would a person go bathe himself in that water? Obviously, he's doing it for refuah. V'loi b'yam shel zdoim. In the time of the Gemara, people didn't just go into the Yam HaMelech stam for fun. We go like when we're vacation, you jump in for 5 minutes, but it's not like a thing you do. If you live there, you're not going to go into the zdoim. It's very tough. Ask the Gemara of Reminu. Roichatzim b'mei Tveria u'b'yam hagadol avaloi b'mei mishra v'loi b'yam shel zdoim. It says mefurish u'b'yam hagadol. You could bathe yourself u'b'yam hagadol. You could. It's okay. We just said that you're not allowed to bathe yourself b'yam hagadol. Kashya yam hagadol. It's a question, a contradiction. Or Rabbi Yechon Kashya. Ha Reb Meir, ha Rabbi Yehuda. Reb Meir is matter, Reb Yehuda is asers. Now, as a small agdama to this, agdama to agdama, what is the difference between a mikvah and a mayon? A mayon, a natural spring, has two special halachas about it. First of all, it could be zoichel. It could be moving because natural springs constantly move. When the Torah says you should use natural spring, that means even when it moves, you can't stop it from moving, so it's mutter. A mikvah, on the other hand, cannot move. You can't have zoichlim. When we made our mikvah in Kensington, in our house, we had a problem, like some of the water was leaking. It constitutes zechila. You have to find the leak. It's very difficult. You have to make sure. That's why the way they pour the concrete is very complicated and expensive. You have to make sure that the water doesn't move. Because once it moves, when it starts leaking out, it becomes zeichel. Could be a problem, zeichel. That's number one. Number two, a zav and a metzora use special water. The mechatos. Those three things have to be from a mayon, from natural spring, and not from a mikvah. What about an ocean? What's an ocean? The Mediterranean or the large bodies of water. What halacha do they have? Is it a mayon? It's a natural. Does it come from the ground, or is it a mikvah? Machlokes. Where's Hillel? He's here. What's the halacha, Hillel? Machlokes. Says the Gemara, this nan kol yamim kimikvah. All the oceans are like a mikvah. Shenemar. Ulu mikvei hamayim kara yamim. Yeah. all the way in the beginning of the Torah. Bereshis Perek Aleph. Divrei Rebbe Meir. In other words, Rebbe Meir says there's no difference between Yam HaGadol and any other Yam. They're all the same. Ememela what? It's mutter. Just like we said before. Reichtim b'mei Grar, b'mei Chamasa, b'mei Asya, and b'mei Yam HaGadol. There's no difference. What's the difference? Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Yam HaGadol, only that, Yam HaGadol, kimikvah. So, if you're Tomei or whatever, you could go to Yam HaGadol. But a Zav cannot go to Yam HaGadol. And you cannot draw water from Yam HaGadol and use it for your mechatos and your mitzayra. So why is it called Yamim? Yamim Harbe. Different waters go into the Yam HaGadol. Fine. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Kol Yamim Tarim Zoichalin. Rabbi Yossi comes up with sort of a compromise. He says, all waters are metar, all the oceans are metar bezoichalin. In other words, there's no such thing as zoichel when it comes to ocean. You're right. It's not a problem of zoichel. Upsulim lezavim mitzurayim l'kajbem mechatos. But you cannot use it for these three special things. Zavim mitzurayim kajbem mechatos. Masgul Menachem Bar Yitzchok. So you're telling me there's a machlokes or Meir and Yehuda here. Eimer the pligi liin tuma v'tahara. It's so funny because it's interesting because Tosfos asked this question in the beginning of the sugya, and the Gemara asked the question. The Gemara itself asked the question. Tosfos is like asking a Gemara question, right? Aim the pligi, so it's okay when people ask questions from the art school, whatever. Right? Tosfos does it. Aim the pligi because it's such a bomb question. What's the Gemara bring a raya from a zav toiveling in an ocean? Versus this water, that water, what's the connection to Shabbos? Shabbos, we care about the salinity of the water. How salty is it? Is it a refuah or not a refuah? That's all we care about. So what difference? It's not about zoichlin, it's not about mikvah, it's not about it. Even the plea in tumah v'tahara, in Shabbos mi Shabbos lu. Elam Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchok lo kashya. Hodishtay, hodelo. When a person soaks himself. From tomorrow on, Rabbi said we could have turned the page, sponsored by Fishel. Maybe today we'll do Fishel. It's a freebie for Fishel. But if somebody gives a bigger bid than Fishel, we go with the bigger bid. Rabbi say, we have operations here. Amen. The pligili in tumah v'tahara. We still have to do the arm kodesh. What are you talking about? Amen. The pligili in tumah v'tahara. Lein Shabbos mi Shabbos lu. So if a person soaks himself, then it's asur. He doesn't soak himself. He jumps in to the ocean, to Yam HaGadol, and jumps out. That's okay. Says the Gemara, I have some a question, not like for this, stam in general. You're not allowed to do refuah on Shabbos, right? You're not allowed to take something that looks like medicine. Could I do hibi-jibi on Shabbos? Fake stuff, like things what are they called? This alternative medicine. Things that are not really, they don't have the approval of the government. Stop. You mean that or placebo? Placebo. No, that. Like, I'm saying, like, fine. What do you say? Who? Right, homeopathic stuff. Depends how good it is. Anyway, it's a shaila. Not a shaila, but it seems like that's 100% mutter. Because it's not real. It has to be real medicine that's proven, not... So the question is the reverse. Can you take a person like my father took my mother, Aleh Shalom, at the last stages to Mexico because he heard that over there they do greens and they do hyperbaric chambers and so many shtusim that don't work, and he called up people and they have people that say, yeah, I was stage 4 and I got out of it, I'm completely healthy. They have all these people, they tell you call this and that. And are you allowed to travel on Shabbos to such a place? They tell you, if you drink 5 glasses of green every day, you can cure any cancer. You allowed to? So it's actually a big... What about if you go to a Rebbe? Could you go to a Rebbe on Shabbos? It's another good shaila. Rebbe said, you go to this Rebbe, you get a good bracha. Is that considered Baduk Menusa versus Guli? How do you view it? So, Zog the Gemara. Elo Amar Rav Nachman Yitzchak lekashodi shtoi B'may kim to lebasraisa. What did you say in the second one? The lo yishtai. We're talking about a whole case of Yam HaGadol, where it's mutter to go into Yam HaGadol because he didn't stay there. Either lo yishtai, afilu b'meishur nami. Even if you jump into the really disgusting flax water, it should be okay. The Sanyan says before, you're allowed to go into the hot springs. You're allowed to go into Mei Mishra, discussing water. You're allowed to go into Yam HaMelach. Even if it's so visible to everybody. Look, it's on top of his head. They see the reason why. It says Mefurish, why? Because he didn't stick around. If you're in the disgusting part of the Yam HaGadol, like there's all sorts of garbage floating around there, then it's obvious that the reason why you're in there is for refuah. If it's the nice, beautiful blue waters in the Bahamas, in the Caribbean, then it's mutter because everybody goes into those waters. Mei Mishra, nami leikasha. You don't have a contradiction between Mei Mishra, where he says you're not allowed or you are allowed. The bottom line is, says the Gemara, so you need two things. If you stick around, that shows it's l'refuah. If it's dirty, that shows it's l'refuah. If you don't have those two things together, you didn't stick around, you did it real quickly, even in dirty water, mutter. If you didn't stick around, and if it's clean water, and you stuck around, then it's also okay. So you need two things. You need to sit there for a long time, and in dirty water, then I understand that it's for refuah. Says the Gemara, says the Mishnah. Ein oichlim ezoivin. There's another girsha. Ezoiv yavan. Ezoiv, according to the Rambam, would be this. Hyssop. Ezoiv. Hyssop. Hyssop. Lavender. He says it's lavender. Okay, I'm not saying that these are accurate. These are for demonstration purposes only. B'Shabbos. Lefi she'ein she'ein machal briim. Normal people don't eat it. So if you're eating it, you show that you're doing it l'refuah. But he's allowed to eat yoyezer v'shoyse abuvroya. Because everybody drinks this and eats this, and it's not l'refuah. Kol ha'achlam oichel adam l'refuah. You're allowed to eat regular stuff, like bread. If it's going to give you some medicinal benefit, that's okay. V'chol ha'mashkin shoyse. Chutz me'meid kolim. Normal people don't drink Meidekel, the waters of a palm tree, it's too strong, so therefore if you drink it, you're showing that it's a little refuah. V'kois ikarin, and you take some wine and you put some roots in it, that's not okay. Mipnei shem li'yeroika, people drink this for jaundice. Aval shoisu meidekolim litzmoi, if, says Rashi, if you're not a sick person, a healthy person is allowed to drink this meidekolim if you're thirsty. In other words, if you're thirsty and you're sick, you're not allowed to. V'soch shemen ikarim, and you're allowed to use oil to anoint yourself, even though the oil has roots in it. Shaloi l'refuah, because you're not doing it for l'refuah. Amar Rav Yosef, Ezoiv avroso bar hamag. This is the type, the Ezoiv that the Torah tells us that you take the Ezoiv with the mechatos. That's the type, bar hamag. Ezoivin, the one in the Mishnah, avroso bar hing. It's this thing, or maybe the opposite. I don't know. One of these. Ula Amar. Marva chivara, white sage. I have white sage here. If you want, some sort of sage. This family, Rabbi Said, right here. Let's see how quick he is. Nah.
You didn't send it.
Oh, what does it say on the bottom? Something about white sage. I saw. Ula igla lebei Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda, Aisel kamei marva chivara. They brought him out this white sage. Omar hainu ezav. Oh, he pointed it. It says, "This is it. This is what the Torah. This is what you take." And you dip it in the mechatos and you go like this or whatever you do with the ezev. By Mitzrayim. Rapapi Amar Shumshuk. You have Shumshuk.
No, you didn't send it.
Of course I did. It's all on there. It's all on the drive. Shumshuk. You see it on the drive? Gary's looking for it. It's going to be too long. Shumshuk. Shumshuk. This is what it looks like. Now, this is important to see over here. That you see it has like threes, almost like adasim, kind of. Omer Rav Yirmiyah Medifta Kivaseder of Papi Mistaber. It makes a lot of sense. The Snan Mitzvah says of Shleisha Kalachim, 3 branches of them Shleisha Kivoilim, and 3 things come out of them. V'shumshu kudim shtakchachim. This plant makes more sense than, let's say, this. Why do people eat this ezev thing? Lukiane, for worms, intestinal worms. How do you eat it? B'sheva tamri ukmasa, with 7 black dates. And what causes worms? Mikimcha desare, from flour of barley flour. The chalaf alei arbain yomin. The Gemara in Brachas, I don't know if you recall, talks about what bracha do you make on barley flour. The Gemara says you make shahakol even though it causes worms. And I believe the Kiva Eger over there points to this Gemara that it's arbaim yoim. But you still make a shahakol because eventually, if it lasts for 40 days, it's bad. Avaloicho is yezer. My yezer putanak. Pennyroyal. Where's pennyroyal? Oh, it's over here. Pennyroyal. Chaval, you don't have those pictures. Geschmacka pictures. How does he not have it? What's going on? He does? This one he had. But no, because this one is from Nida Daf Nun Aleph. I'm saying the ones I did today. Yeshua. He screams out from the back. He remembers that one. Okay. Says the Gemara, I'm sorry, what is this? Why do you eat it? Liver worms. How does a person know he has liver worms? I'm not sure. He knows. You just know. It's one of those things. It's not heart worms, it's liver worms. He chaps right away. You eat it with 7 white dates. What causes it? Rabbi said, listen to this. From eating meat, umaya. Now some people take that out, but the health freaks are going to hate this. If you drink water first thing in the morning, it's terrible for you. Causes liver worms. And fatty meat, ali berikana on an empty stomach. The Torah, ali berikana. There's this new place, New Delhi. So after I learned the Gemara, I ordered from there right away. I'm not kidding. I was starving, and I was like, but this is not mamish fat meat. This is schnitzel fried in oil. It's different. On an empty stomach. Me'amguza aliba, first time I didn't have a stomach ache in a long time. Me'amguza aliba rekana, and even eating a nut on an empty stomach. Umegire deruvio aliba rekana, fenugreek stems. I sure did. It's the best thing, Rabbi say. I don't want to pump their thing, but it took 5 seconds to order, and you just drive by and take it and go. You don't have to pay. It's unbelievable. Today's technology. The Americans have been doing this for 10 years, Shaita. Okay, anyway. Just there's a certain store up the thing, a bagel shop, I'm not going to mention the name, whatever. This is fenugreek, but the stem of this, not...
Wait, so what are you supposed to eat then? You're not allowed to eat anything on empty stomach, so what should you eat?
Bread, pas b'shachris,
Bread on empty stomach.
with radishes, with salt that we had yesterday. Yeah. That's great.
Then you get the meat and they can do
Nachman wants to know, if you can eat heavy meat with fat, and light meat without fat, so what could you eat? Those are the only 2 foods that he understands.
And you can't eat a nut.
Pizza, spaghetti, ice cream, chocolate. You want me to go through the list? What do you mean? The Gemara just said 3 foods. Cereal, eggs, and bacon, and not bacon, fake bacon, whatever. I understand. Oh, bacon not, sorry. And you should flush it down with water. If not, if this doesn't work, you don't have this stuff around, because a lot of people don't have this stuff. So this they do have. White cress, this is geschmack. Eat this will get. Viloi leitiv b'tanisa. You should fast. V'leisei bisra shamno v'lijdei agumrei. You should take fat meat and put it on coals. V'leimitz garma. And you should suck the juicy stuff from it, v'lig machala, and then you should gulp down some geschmacka vinegar, vikid amri chalaloi. No, that not. Mishum de koshil chala is very bad for your liver. V'iloi leisi gurda da asinto. You should take some sort of bark from a bush. The grida so over here you see right away that the Gemara is talking about ruchnius. This is not gashmis anymore. It says the grida mal yo letatoi. You have to peel the bark from top to bottom, but not from bottom up, because these worms will come out of your mouth if you do it from. So it's all symbolic. Vilishliko b'shich what? Yeah, we're going to have a siyum on Shabbos. We're going to have cress and fenugreek. White stage, or what is it called? Hyssop's. Oh, yeah, I know. Vilishliko b'shichra. And you should boil it in beer. Be'shivve, at like shkia. V'lemochar, niskirinun, you should, l'nikvin didei, you have to close up his nose, he doesn't smell, it's a terrible smell. V'lishtei, and then he drinks it. V'chi mapne, and when he relieves himself, mapne apishcha dedikla. He has to relieve himself on this bark, I guess the one that we were talking about before. V'shoisin abuvroya. My abuvroya, it says in the Mishnah, you're allowed to drink this abuvroya. Chumatria, doesn't help us. My chumatria, chutra yichida, also not very helpful. It's a single stick. Lamay avdelei, why do you drink it? Ligiluya, because mayi megulim, any megula, like you have leftover water, the whole sugi in Avodah Zarah, that the snake comes in, and they were very makbid on it. And in fact, we said over there that the Gemara says, maybe some people are saying, there's no snakes, bizmanenu, we're not so concerned. So the Vilna Gaon says, no, snake is just one of the many, many things that we have to be concerned of. The Gemara just said snake, but it's still an issue today. So if somebody drinks this, you'll see how makbid they were, to the point that it's kedai to drink meiraglayim to get rid of the problem. Here I have a picture. You should bring 5 roses and 5 jugs of beer, and this will save the day. And you have to boil it together until you have the shear and paka, revius, vinishte, and then you drink it. Says the Gemara, this guy drank mayim megulim or something megula, so she made him this special concoction, but she did it chad kalila with 1 rose, v'chad koisa de shichra, and 1 cup of beer, shalke, she boiled it, vishkate, and she gave him to drink, v'shagro tanuro, and then she lit up the oven, v'garafte, you know what this word garafte is, like gara v'katam, she shoveled out all the coals, this guy thought she was crazy. She said, now it's your turn to go into the oven. I need you to go in. Please step in. But so that your bottom doesn't get burned, I'm going to put a little brick there. So sit down on the brick, please. And then all of a sudden he started vomiting the poison from the mayim megulim like a green leaf. You should take a revius of milk from a white goat. I guess not a purple one. Rav Huna bar Yehuda Amar leise esroiga chalisa. You should take a very sweet esrog. V'lechaike, and you make like a hole in it. You carve it out. V'lemal yeduvsha, and fill it up with honey. V'lois v'bei milei l'rura, and you should cook it in the fire. V'leichlei, and then you should eat it. Rav Chanina Amar meiraglayim b'nei arboim yoim. This is great stuff. This is the meiraglayim, and when we learned once about meiraglayim, Levi asked me to bring him a sample, and this I didn't have. A 40-day-old sample, not. And if you have a problem, you should drink barzino lizibura. If you have, this is for 2,000 points, not if you're in the kitchen, and not if you heard me say this at night. How do you heal? 51 seconds. Wow, the countdown is going. This is crazy. How do you heal a hornet sting? Anybody remember? Anybody that wasn't here at the night share? You take a fly and you put. That's one thing. Here's a better idea, because flies are hard to catch. So what you could do is you could drink a 1/32 of a cup of meiraglayim. That also works very well. Barzina l'zibura. Revia, and if you get stung by Rabbi Adler's scorpion that's still hanging around in my house, you take a revius for the akra of like 3-4 ounces. Palga revia, a half revius ligiluya for if you drank by mistake gilu. Riva, a full revius, afilu shafim malu, would help even witchcraft. Omer Rabbi Yochanan. Anigroin, this kind of interesting drink made spinach, beets. Vavanger v'tiryaka, balsam. Malu bein legiluya, bein legiluya, bein lekshafim. This helps for gilui mayim and for witchcraft. Should we go weiter? Hi man devola chivya. If somebody by mistake swallows a snake, let's say you're playing with a snake, and you swallowed it. And tomorrow we're going to have even more interesting suggestions about people swallowing snakes. Loichle keshuso b'milcha, he should eat these hops that we had, the beer hops, with salt. V'leratet lasamile, and he should run 3 mil. Rav Shimi Barashi chazilu gaver devola chivya. He saw a guy that this happened to him. Idmelei kifarasha, he dressed up like a horseman. Oichle keshusa b'milcha, and he gave him to eat this hops with salt. V'ratik hamei tlasa, he said, I'm a horseman, you better do what I tell you, otherwise I'm going to put you in jail or whatever. He made him run. So the guy ran. Unofak minei, guve came out in pieces. Ikeda amrei Rav Shimi Barashi bolachiv, he himself swallowed a snake. Asa Eliyahu idmelei kifarasha. Eliyahu Hanavi himself came and dressed up like a farasha, like a horseman. Oichle keshusa b'milcha, he gave him to eat this hops with salt. Have a wonderful geschmack day. A good chodesh, everybody. Nachman. Shema Elois me'on grusichad Eloi. Adonai Shema Mikoli, Dino Zdach Kishoviz the Kodach Eloi. You're making sure I'll never see a pen. I get it.